All I wanted was peace. A small cabin, tucked away in the woods, powered by my own 2 hands and a bank of solar panels. A place to escape the noise, the rules, the constant hum of the grid. For a while, it was perfect. I had my books, my garden, and the quiet hum of my inverters, turning sunlight into life. It was a simple, self-reliant existence. Freedom. But one day, that peace was shattered. The HOA lady showed up, clipboard in hand, a scowl etched on her face. She marched onto my property like she owned it, pointing a manicured finger at my solar array. "That's a violation," she declared, her voice sharp enough to cut glass. "It's an eyesore. It's not up to code." I tried to explain that I was off-grid, that her rules didn't apply out here. She wasn't listening. "You have 24 hours to shut it all down," she sneered, "or I'll have you arrested for illegal power generation." The next day, it escalated. She brought a man in a security uniform, driving a car with a cheap light bar on top. They stood at the edge of my land, shouting threats, waving official-looking papers that were probably just junk mail. She was trying to intimidate me, to bully me into submission. The pressure was immense. The stress felt like a physical weight. My quiet sanctuary had become a battlefield. My heart pounded in my chest. I felt cornered, my dream of a peaceful life turning into a nightmare. She wanted to take my freedom away, to force me back into the system I had worked so hard to leave behind. But she made a critical mistake. She assumed I was just some hermit, isolated and powerless. She didn't do her homework. She didn't know that years ago, before I built this cabin, I bought the land and the utility easement it came with. She didn't know that I owned the very power lines that fed her entire pristine, rule-abiding street. So that night, as her perfect neighborhood glowed with what they thought was their power, I walked over to my private utility shed. I looked back towards the distant lights, took a deep breath, and flipped a single, heavy switch. I could almost hear the collective gasp, the sudden confused silence. The chaos would be starting right about now. The HOA lady who tried to cut my power was now sitting in the dark, all because of me. I walked back to my cabin, the only light for miles around. A beacon of self-reliance. Let this be a lesson. Don't mess with people who build their own freedom.